Welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how you can change hue, saturation, lightness of a live camera preview using Camera X and Media 3 effect in Expo React Native application for Android. So let's get started. So first let me show you guys the output. So here is the output. I have recorded the output. So here I have the camera preview. I have already given the camera permission. So first it will ask you for camera permission, and here you can see I'm moving my camera preview, and this is how we see it. And now I can just click on the capture button. It will capture the image and display it inside an image view for me. So I have just captured the image on a white floor. That's why the HSL was not applied that great. But if you saw previously that when I tried to move my camera in my living room, the HSL was applied to a great effect. And it also depends on you what kind of HSL value you pass. HSL means hue, saturation and lightness. So let's get started. So here what the next step is to create an Expo React Native project. So you can just run this command inside your terminal and it will create an Expo React Native project for you. It will ask you for your app name. Just give it some app name. Now just to quickly show you the documentation as well, there are multiple ways to create an Expo React Native project. I'm using this blank TypeScript template as you can see over here, but if you want you can use all these other templates as well. The reason I'm using this blank TypeScript template is because it creates a blank less boilerplate code with TypeScript support. That's why. Okay, once that is done, you need to go to this URL over here. So like I said, will be writing native code. I'm not using any third-party library. Also the Expo version which I'm using is 53.0.2. Unfortunately the Expo guys have still not updated to React Native 80, which has been released a month ago from the time me recording this video, but they still haven't updated it. I don't know why, but anyways, for our case this is fine. I don't think there will be any breaking changes as such. So just go to this URL next. So here you will have to select Android device, select development build, and I have already done all these steps. So here you will have to select your own operating system. I have already ran this command. I have set the Java home as well. I have also set up Android Studio as well. So if you haven't done this, you will have to follow this documentation, then do this particular bit of stuff, then do this particular bit of stuff. Then you will have to cd to your application. So the Expo React Native application inside your terminal, the cd to my app or whatever is your Expo React Native project name, and then just run this command. So this will install this Expo dev client dependencies as well. So you'll have to run this command. Once you run this command, you will have to run this command over here, npx expo run android. Once you run this command, you should see this Android folder being created for you. It will also ask you like, do you want to run your application on a simulator or a real device? So you don't have to run it. You can just press Ctrl C. We'll run it at the very end once the application is done, once we finish writing code, because we will be writing native code, right? So you can't just hot reload or hot refresh. You will have to run it from the start, so no point in running it now. Okay, then we need to create this module. So for that you need to go to this particular documentation. Like I said, this is only for Android, so we are not concentrating on iOS. So I'll open it inside a new tab, and here you can see you first need to run this command. Okay, then it will ask you some questions like what should be the module name. Don't enter anything, just press enter. That's it, and it will give you this. It should create this folder for you, modules, my module. That's it. Okay, now I'll just close this. Now a few things which you need to do. So first you need to go to the src folder, go to my module.type.ts, and here you can see this is the URL. Like, this is the thing which we will use for sending, this key we will be using for sending the image URL from native Android side to Expo React Native side. Okay, now here I have commented this particular thing out. Now this all thing was present by default. I have not added this by myself. I will tell you what I have changed. I have commented these two things out. Now don't get confused by this URL and this URL. This URL is for sending the data back from native Android side or from native side to Expo React Native side, and this basically is a prop. We are not using any prop, so I have commented this out. And this particular thing is same what I have written over here. I have just changed the name on image taken, just so that it makes more sense in our case. That's why. That's the only thing which I have changed. Okay, and I don't think I have changed anything inside my module. Just check once. I think this should be the same for you as well. Then once that is done, you need to go to the Android folder. You need to go to build.gradle, and here you need to add this dependencies block. So here you need to add this camera core, then this camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, then Android X camera media 3 effect, which is still in alpha at the time of me recording this video, and this media 3 effect as well. If this library does become stable, make sure you use the stable version. Then Android X app compact 1.7.0 as well. Okay, once you add all this, you need to go to the main Android folder, go to app, src, main, android manifest.xml, and here you can see we need to add two things. First is this uses feature of Android hardware camera, as well as this camera permission. So make sure you add these two things. Now we also require this write external storage, but this was added by default when we create an Expo React Native project, so I don't need to add it. Okay, and also the internet permission is a good thing to do. Okay, once that is done, let's just see how to use it. We'll see the implementation in a bit. So just go to app.tsx, and here are all the imports which I have written, so feel free to pause the video and copy all these imports. Then here we have one state for image URL, one state just to check whether camera permission was granted or not. Then here I am just checking whether the Android version is greater than 10 or not, greater than equal to 10, because from Android 10 we don't require the write external storage permission. So that's what I'm doing over here inside this method. Depending on the Android version, we are asking for the required permission, and here you can see once the permission has been granted, we just change the state of this particular variable over here as well. Okay, and inside use effect we just call this particular method over here. Once image URL is not equal to empty, then we'll just display the image using the image React Native image element. If it is empty, like at the default it is empty, and if camera permission is granted, then we just display this camera preview as well as our capture button. Else we just say display a text saying camera permission not granted, and these are the styles for that particular thing as well. Okay, then again you need to go to module, my module, go to src java, and here you first need to go to my module.kt. Okay, first you need to add this particular import. Now why we need to add this? Because we need to annotate this my module @ unstable API. This is because this media 3 effect libraries are bit like this is an alpha, right? But this unstable API is because of this particular library. Even though this is stable, the API is bit unstable. This is one of the quirks of Android development. Hopefully by the time you guys watch this video, they hopefully resolve this issue, but at least at the time of me recording we need to add this. Okay, and rest everything I have kept it as it is. Then just scroll down, and here inside my module we have commented this out because we are not passing any prof. So to comment out things in Kotlin, you just have to add this // and here also I have commented this out, events on load, and here I have this events on image taken, because that is the type which we are using over here, right? That's why I'm using events on image taken. That's the only change which you need to make. Now let's see the actual code on how to do this. Okay, so the next is you need to open this my module view.kt file. So here we have this my module file, right? Now you need to come to my module view.kt. so firstly you will have to firstly inside this my module view class you will see a lot of code already written for you. You just have to delete that particular code. Then you need to copy all this imports. So there are a lot of imports, sorry about that. So you'll have to feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports. Okay, then here I have defined this on image taken, which is the event dispatcher, which will help us to send the URI of the captured image from native Android side to React Native or Expo side. Okay, then here we get hold of our activity as well. Then here is our frame layout. Also one more thing, we are annotating this class with @unstable API, because in this class itself we will be using the media 3 effect. Now given that this class was used inside my module view, that's why my module was also annotated with @unstable. So here we get hold of our frame layout. Here is our camera, this is the preview view, here is our image capture as well. Then here we initialize our button, here is our preview view, here is our camera executor service, here is our process camera provider, here we get hold of our back facing lens. Then here we set the layout params for our frame layout, we add it to our parent view. Then here is our viewfinder as well. So viewfinder is basically the camera preview which we see. Then here we assign the layout params for our viewfinder. Then here we call this install hierarchy filter, where we pass the viewfinder, and then we just do frame layout.add viewfinder. Then we just change the text of our button, background color, text color as well as alpha. Then we set the layout params for our button params as well. Then we add the capture button to our frame layout. We also add a click listener to this. Here we override on attached to window, and if we has the camera permission, then we just call setup camera. On detach from window, we shut down our camera executor as well as unbind our camera provider. Now here I'm calling this method at the top right. Why we are calling this method? So basically this method is a hack. If you want to learn more about it, you can go to this particular URL over here. So this is a issue which has been open in React Native's repo since past 8 years. They have still not fixed it. If you don't apply this particular hack, you will see a black screen instead of your live camera preview. That's why we need to use this. Then here we call setup camera, where we get hold of our process camera provider. We add a listener to this as well, and then we call this bind camera use case. Then here we get hold of our width as well as height. Then here we get hold of our rotation as well. Then here is our camera provider. Here we do camera selector dot builder, where passing the back facing lens. Here we define our aspect ratio strategy as well as resolution selector. Then here we initialize our preview view. Here we initialize our image capture as well. Then here we do use case group dot builder, add our preview use case as well as image capture. Here we initialize our media 3 effect. Then here we do HSL adjustment dot builder, passing the hue, saturation as well as lightness. Then we do use case group builder, add effect, passing our media 3 effect. We unbind our camera provider. Here we get hold of our camera. We assign it to this camera value as well. Then here we call take photo. So here we get hold of our image capture. This is the simple date format. Then here we use content values dot apply, passing the display name, MIME type, and if Android version greater than P, we also set the relative path. Then here we have this output file options as well. Then here we do image capture dot take picture. Here we override on image saved. So here we get the URL of the saved image, and we send it back to React Native side or Expo side with the help of this particular code. Then we unbind our camera provider as well. Here this is just a helpful method just to check whether we have the camera permissions or not. And here I have just defined a variables called tag and file name format as well, just because we are using this. So yeah, that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.